Hi guys, I am gonna try something new. I done videos like this before, but I kind of just talked about like merch, I think, and that was really it. But I want to make more of a video like this where I kind of talk about FNAF and talk about theories and do stuff like that. And don't worry, there'll still be plush videos. But I want to try this more. I am new at this kind of style videos, so hopefully the quality is not that bad. But today I'm gonna I might make a series of it about underrated FNAF characters. I thought part one, or maybe this would just be one video. I don't know, the Phantoms, and I'm gonna go and start talking about them. So yeah. By the way, it is raining outside of my house right now, so if you hear any rain, that's why. But first, how about we talk a lot about like why do people not like the Phantoms? Why do people skip out at them? Why? What's going on? Why do people just leave these guys behind? If you don't know, Scott's thank you page doesn't have any Phantoms, like the thank you thingy. I don't know what you call it, but yeah. So first, I want to say my reasons why I don't like the Phantoms. Like, I don't hate them. I just feel like it was a really missed opportunity. Because if you don't know, they're kind of like Ghost. And basically, since they're Ghost, you can do whatever you want with them. You know, you can make them look as scary as possible. And like like in FNAF 1 or FNAF 2, you couldn't have done that because they need to look like this is an actual pizzeria. It has to look realistic. But these are ghosts. You can make them look as scary as you want to be. And I think that was really missed opportunity to not do that. Like a really missed opportunity. Like, you know how scary they could be? I guess they did it with the FNAF 4 animatronics, but still. Now I think about it, the FNAF 4 animatronics is the better version of the Phantoms, but still, come on. So I won't really talking about Springtrap in this video, just because I feel like he's the opposite of underrated. Like, yeah. But I just want to say another little thing that I don't like about the Phantoms is the choice of characters. So, basically, when FNAF 2 came out, it was a great game. There was a lot of people thought it was better. But there was one complaint. So in FNAF 1, you kind of, you felt like there was a theme with the animatronics. There's four animatronics. You got used to them. You kind of felt a feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but you kind of understand with that. But in FNAF 2, they have way too many animatronics. That's why I like FNAF 2, but a lot of people didn't like that because you can't really, like all the characters. You couldn't, I guess, there's too many. That's probably like why the FNAF 2 movie, like some characters barely had any screen time, was because of that reason. And in FNAF 3, it was supposed to solve it by making a little bit of characters. So, the choice of characters of Phantoms they use Freddy, Freddy the main guy. They use Chica, and they use Foxy, and then they use Puppet, Balloon Boy, and Puppet. Now, I think this is kind of weird because there's no Phantom Bonnie. Now, I know why there's no, you got Chica on here. That's what I'm disappointed about. You got Chica on here, the stupid bird, but you couldn't put Bonnie in there. I know 2 bunnies. Maybe Scott was not thinking right. Didn't want 2 bunnies. I don't know. But I just feel like the choice of characters they used wasn't the best. Like, obviously, Freddy. he's the main guy. Foxy, he's the second favorite, and then Chica. And then it's like, oh, we can add Bonnie, but instead they placed it was Phantom Balloon Boy. Which, everyone hates the Balloon Boys. And then they, Puppet, which I guess it's kind of, cool, and Mangle for some reason. What a random character to choose, but, yeah, that was kind of weird. Why Mangle? Why Mangle? Just a random character, but I guess it is the coolest out of all the toys they couldn't pick, but yeah, that's probably a reason why people don't really like the Phantoms. It's just the choice of characters they used. So after FNAF 3, that was probably really it for the Phantoms. Everyone fought until one game released that a lot of people don't like, but they actually are in it, and they all suck. That game is FNAF World. Now, actually, all the Phantoms made it into FNAF World. Phantom Freddy did, Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Phantom Mangle, Phantom Puppet, and Phantom Balloon Boy did. So I'll put them up on screen what they looked like in the game. But if you play as any of them, they all suck. They usually come during the first levels. You don't have them that long. Yes, I do play this game. It's actually pretty fun, but all the characters, the Phantoms kind of suck. They're not good as playlists. Phantom Freddy is probably the worst one of them all. Phantom Mangle's not the worst thing in the world, but and sorry if you hear noise. My dog is being my dog and making noise. So yeah, nothing about to say about FNAF other than they were in the game. But yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about Ultimate Custom Night next, which is gonna be fun. So yeah. Okay, Ultimate Custom Night. Now, there's only 3 Phantoms that are in this game. And I don't really like the choice of characters. I guess, Phantom Freddy, he's the main guy. He's Phantom Freddy. But then they added Phantom Balloon Boy and Phantom Mangle to the thing. I feel like you could pick better Phantoms. At least the Phantoms are in Ultimate Custom Night in the first place, but I would like if maybe like Phantom Foxy would be cooler, but basically they're pretty easy to deal with in the game, and yeah, I don't really know. This is probably gonna be the shortest part, but yeah, I don't even know what else to say. I guess on to Help Wanted. So Help Wanted came out where they make the first 3 FNAF games in VR, FNAF 1, FNAF 2, and FNAF 3 now, and also all the little mini games you play too, but I would say FNAF 3 is probably the worst one, just because they look like this, and I know the VR models don't look that good, because just look at Toy Bonnie. What is that teeth, like, yeah, they look off. I don't know what it is, but they look off. I don't know why they could just make it more like the in-game designs, but they even did Springtrap bad. Like, why did he look like that? But probably the worst out of them all, it has to be the Phantoms. The Phantoms are just recolors instead of their own models, which just looks really bad. It is kind of lazy, but I understand why the Phantoms are not that important, so they're just going to recolor them. But still, like, come on. And this is, sadly, the last appearance. You get it. Of these characters. I'm going to show a couple images on the screen what they look like. They did not look good. Yeah. So I just realized something when I was looking these Phantom guys up, VR models, and for some reason in the game there's just no Phantom Chica or Phantom Puppet, and it just makes it so much easier. It just felt like they were just really lazy when they were making FNAF 3. Like, FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 are perfect. And then when they went on FNAF 3, they did not do good. It's not bad, but still. Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like this is really it. I think the last time we will ever see the Phantoms is probably going to be the third movie. Hopefully you don't get the withered animatronics, like that type of screen time, if it, in the second one. The wizards barely had any, so I'm curious if the Phantoms will be a big deal in the plot. I know I sound like a freaking Phantom nerd right now, but I just felt like it would be fun to talk about these guys because these guys, don't give them all the hate. They're not that bad. Let's give these guys more respect. Let's give them more merch. Come on, guys. And please, these characters, make them have enough screen trap in the movie. I know you want to focus on Springtrap. That should be, focus on Springtrap, but leave some room for the Phantoms. Make them a big deal to the plot. Springtrap is also going to be the main character, but please let the Phantoms be in it. Have enough screen time at least. But yeah, that's really it. I hope you like these videos like this. This took me forever to make. Way longer than a plush video, so I hope this video does good. But this took me like an hour and a half, so yeah, but thanks so much, and I don't know what I'm saying, and bye.